Today we are going to create a clay face pot based off of the artist Modigliani. First thing we're going to need to do is to create a pinch pot. To create a pinch pot, we're going to take about either 75% or half of your clay and then take it and put it into a either sphere or ball. It can be a very lumpy sphere or ball. Once you've done that, you're going to stick your thumb into your sphere. Once you have your hole, you're going to make your hand quack like a duck and start to pinch going around. You're pinching the sides. You want the thickness of the sides to be as thick as an Oreo cookie. When we talk about as thick as an Oreo cookie, that means 2 wafers with cream in between. If you pinch it too thin and it's paper thin, then air will destroy your pot. If you have a big bottom base where it's too thick, well then the kiln could also make it explode. So it should be as thick as an Oreo cookie all around, forming its pot. Once you form your pot, you will begin to smooth your sides so it doesn't have any cracks. Notice right now I'm taking my fingers and smoothing the sides. You'll also smooth the outside of your pot to make sure there's no rough edges on the bottom base of your clay face pot. I'm looking around, turning my pot to see if there's any edges that might need to be smoothed. Once I've done that, I want to start to create the eyes. I'm going to create 2 quarter or nickel size circles. I do want those circles to be as thick as my pinky. If it's paper thin, well then you're not going to really see the eyes. You want them as thick as your pinky, but the size of either a nickel or a quarter. I'm going then to create my nose by creating a rectangle. That rectangle I want to be as thick as my pinky and rectangle shaped. I'm not making it bigger than my thumb. It's just a small nose. To attach my eyes and my nose, I'm going to need to score, press, and smooth. So I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to create some etching marks. This is the scoring process. I score where I want to attach, and I score what I'm attaching. I then press, and smoothing means to rub your finger around on all sides. So I rub, attaching my circle, so I have one eye attached. I'm going to then repeat the same process. I score on where I want to attach, and I also score where the item I'm attaching. I then press, I then smooth, going around. Once I have the eye attached, I'm going to repeat the same process with the nose. The nose will go in between the eyes. I score where I want to attach. I score what I'm attaching. I then press, and then I start to smooth. I've angled my rectangle to where the nose is thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top. It's more at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to then have repetition by repeating lines around the eyes. So I have rhythm in my artwork. Rhythm is our artwork for the day. The art word is rhythm. By repeating lines or shapes, we can create rhythm. I've repeated lines around the eyes. Then for the last part of my clay pot, I'm going to create a coil. This is going to lift my pinch pot off the ground a little bit so I have a base. I first scrunch it with my hands and then rub it between my palms to make a long cylinder. I'm going to then make that into a circle using the same process of scoring, pressing, and smoothing. So once I have my circle, I start to press really good. Once I've pressed the circle, I'm going to start to press going around on the outside and the inside. I'm also going to want an area where the air is going to come through my cylinder. So I'll take my pencil and create a line so the air can pass through my cylinder so it won't explode. Watch, I'm pressing my pencil in, creating a small line so air can come through. I can then write my name on the bottom of the pot. Once you finish that, you can add any extra details you want to add. I'm going to add a line for the mouth on my face. It's up to you what any extra details you might want to add to make it individually your own. Once you've finished your clay pot, we will put it in the kiln for it to be fired so it can turn into bisque for us to be able to paint it. If you're virtual and you do not want to pick up clay to create a clay pot, you can draw your picture using the How to Draw a Portrait template.